Hey guys, I wanted to do something that I haven't really done before on this channel. It's something that I thought maybe I could do, which was I wanted to share with you an email that I got. An email that's been incredibly impactful to me, and to explain why, I want to just kind of set this back up just a little bit. So one of the biggest struggles for me internally in doing what I do with my channel, with Answers with Joe, is it's really, I've explained this a million times, but it started more as an entertainment thing and went down this hard science route that I wasn't expecting. And I'm fine with that. I enjoy it. I've learned so much doing it, and it's working, and it's given me a life that I, even just a few years ago did not think would be possible. But I do not have a degree in anything remotely science. I've talked about this a lot. I'm just a guy who is into it and enjoys it and does my research, and I just kind of share with you what I find, and I try to be as entertaining as I can about the whole thing. And from time to time, I do get, let's say, haters in the comments that say this guy didn't know what he's talking about. He got this wrong, he got that wrong. I get stuff wrong all the time. I like to play it off and say, oh, it's just the charm of the channel. It's just the thing that I do. But it bothers me. I don't want to put wrong information out there, and I certainly don't want to, I don't want to do more harm than good. And I've had more than a few people in comments claim that I'm doing exactly that. So I get called all kinds of things in comments, but those are the comments that really worry me. They're the ones that make me take pause and think, should I be doing this? And I get a lot of, I don't want to make it sound like that's all I get. That's thankfully the small minority. Mostly what I get from people is that people understand that there's a difference between scientists and science communicators, that science communicators are important because they can get the ideas across to everybody else. And I like to think that that's what I'm good at. But I like to think a lot of things about myself. Doesn't make them true. Anyway, I got this email today, and I just want to read it to you because it literally, I finished reading it and just had to sit back in my chair and be like, holy shit, I cannot believe somebody just wrote me that. So I did the video, not yesterday, but the week before, on fusion energy, the possibility of fusion energy in the future. And in the video, if you missed it, I talk about how it's something that's we've been working on it for 60, 70 years now. And it's always been just out of our grasp. It's always been just in the future. It's always been 10, 20 years away, always. And I kind of felt like, I alluded to it at the end, the fact that there's all these people that have been working on this technology their entire lives, knowing full well that they're probably never going to see it themselves, that they're doing something for future generations, they're doing something that their grandkids and great-grandkids might be able to take advantage of. They're doing things to make the world better later on when they're not even going to get to enjoy it. And I find inspiration from that. I think there's nothing more noble in this world, as I said in the video, than planting trees under whose shade you'll never sit, And anyway, I got this email, and it's actually from somebody that works at the Wendelstein 7X fusion reactor project in Germany, at the Max Planck Institute in Germany. And usually when when I talk about a specific project or anything, and I have been contacted by people who, work at projects that I've talked about before, my butthole clenches a little bit because I'm usually ready for them to be like, okay, you got this wrong, or you said that wrong. And I'm, here we go, But I got this email and I started reading it, and I'm just going to read it to you. I'm going to spare the guy's name because he didn't ask me to read this to everybody, but I wanted to share it at least here on this channel. So here we go. It says, "Hey JS, I'm an American scientist working on the W7X experiment in Germany. To be frank, I've worked my whole life to get to this point, and now that I'm here, I cannot shake the creeping loss of enthusiasm I once held as one of my core motivations. The statement that fusion is the energy of the future and always will be is a terrible reality, and it becomes especially heavy given the years of study and work and personal sacrifices required to get here. It's been said that fusion research is like cathedral building. Those who design it never see the finished product. Every time you see an elderly plasma physicist pass away, you know that he or she was a brilliant mind that left this world with their life's purpose yet unfulfilled. This is kind of what I was talking about in my video. So to hear him kind of verify this was cool. I mean, tragic and sad, but you know. Anyway, it continues. But I want this message to ultimately be an uplifting one. I stumbled across your summary video about the state of affairs in the field of fusion research, and it reinvigorated me. The reality of working on such a massive endeavor is that your world becomes incredibly small. You and everyone around you spends 50 hours a week working on their tiny contribution to the big picture, and I often don't take a step back and consider that picture. As I write this, I am home on a personal day, purposed for internal reflection. I've got a huge decision coming up after the OP1.2b operational campaign. Don't know what that is, but anyway. Do I continue here or seek other opportunities? Your video was an excellent summary and actually carried a sense of excitement for the next 20 years that I felt initially going into this field. I believe that I will choose to stay in it. There's just too much on the horizon to get out now. Thank you for the role you unknowingly played. I'm so blown away by that email. I've gotten emails before from people who are, let's say, students or people who are young and trying to figure out what they want to do with their lives. And in one way or another, my videos or the things that I talk about inspired them to pursue a science field where maybe they hadn't considered that before, or maybe it was something that they wanted to do but didn't think they were up to it and decided to after seeing something that I talked about or whatever. I've gotten stuff like that, and that's incredibly meaningful too. I'm not trying to discount that. But there's always that thing in the back of my mind that's like, most people don't wind up actually doing the thing that they go to school for, you know? So they might go and study science. Doesn't mean they're actually going to be doing the science. Doesn't mean that they're actually going to be changing the world in some way. And, you know, I've earned the years now to where I feel like I could be a mentor figure of sorts to somebody who's in their late teens or 20s or something like that. But to have somebody who is actually doing this, somebody who is actually affecting, hopefully, amazing change in the world, even if it's just a small part of a big picture, somebody who's actually in there and working on it, who maybe was thinking about getting out, that I was able to inspire them to continue their work. I think what I'm saying right now is starting to borderline on patting myself on the back, like I'm doing, like hey, look how great I am. I'm not trying to go there. I'm just amazed by how I've said before that life is like throwing a rock in a pond, and you never know where those ripples are going to land. With every video that I do, I'm throwing a rock into a pond, and I'm creating ripples. With everything that we all do throughout our day, we create ripples. And those ripples touch in places that you don't know that they're going. You never know. You never know where they're going to land, and you never know what effect they're going to have on other people. So it's not just about the power of YouTube or the power of me or whatever. It's about the power that we all have. In every single action and every single word that comes out of our mouths as we go throughout our daily lives, we have the ability to impact other human beings in ways that we don't appreciate and we don't understand. And this is the perfect example of that. I just wanted to pass that on because it does kind of, to me, verify that what I'm doing matters and that it has some value and it has some worth, and it could actually, even though I don't understand the stuff that I talk about usually, much less participate in the discovery and in the actual changing of the world, even though I'm not an actual part of that, the thought that I could contribute in this way is very meaningful to me. And it's you know, God, if I reinvigorated him, he certainly did the same thing for me. Because you know, when you're running a YouTube channel, you do kind of lose sight of the big picture sometimes. You just get wrapped up in getting the next video out, you know, and keeping your head down and cranking on things, that you forget that you can actually change lives and affect people and affect the world in some way. So that was a very meaningful email, and I wanted to share that with you guys. And it's not just me. I think that the kind of community and the ecosystem that's kind of growing around this thing that I started, we all have the power to do that, to affect other people, and to make the world a better place. Anyway, I hope that wasn't too cheesy and sappy, but it really put some warmth in my heart, and I hope that I was able to pass that on a little bit. So hope you guys are doing well. I know I've been really slow posting on this channel lately. I'm actually posting more stuff on my original channel than I have been here. I'll do better about that. I'm trying. Anyway, you guys take care, and I'll catch you next time.